Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again, people, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It must be because I'm here live. You're here with me. You know what's up. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Appreciate you being here. A lot to talk about. I like this good gun that we're going to talk about today because there were a lot of shots fired. I'll put it that way. Damn. A lot of shots fired. And fortunately, most of them found their target. Yeah, a lot of weird shit going on. You see the thumbnail. That's actually mayonnaise. I learned that I have to be careful with my thumbnails. I put one up a few weeks ago, and they took it down before they even sent out the notice of the video. So I gotta play it safe with the thumbnails. So I didn't want to put up her actual dress because we know what's on that. But this, I just Googled mayonnaise spilled on a dress, and this is one of the images that came up. But if you're old enough to know the Monica Lewinsky story, then you know what that thumbnail is all about. And if not, we'll give a quick little history lesson for the younger folk in the room. But she's back, guys. Monica Lewinsky is back, and she has a request. It's a very simple request. I hope it can be honored, because since they're honoring all the other requests that are basically the same as hers, why wouldn't they? So Monica has a request, guys, and I can't wait. Can't wait to hear what it is. Truth, justice, in the American way. You remember who used to say that, right? Superman. Well, Superman's not as super anymore because he doesn't say that anymore. It's truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. What? Motherfucker, did you land in another country? Did you land in America? I'm just asking. We'll talk about that bullshit. Quick question. Very quick. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I just want to know, where the fuck is Joe? Where is he? Haven't heard from him in a while. He says he's working. Okay. Also, a Ku Klux Trans member gets violent. Could you imagine that? A man getting violent? Because that's what it is. So we're going to talk about that bullshit too. And that's exactly what it is some bullshit, especially when you hear what happened, where it happened, and who the aggressor was, who the perpetrator was, and their ages. That's another thing we're going to talk about, the ages of the two people involved in that Ku Klux Trans violent outburst. That also plays a factor. Here we go. Here we have it. The super chat cherry popper. That's Brian Shoemaker. Thanks for being gentle, Brian. Corn Pop about to smash Lewinsky. Might. Corn Pop might holler at her, catch her in an event or something. Hey, Monica, I know what you're about. What's up? But something, just jotting down a quick note. Something else I want to talk about with Monica Lewinsky, because Monica, you said some dumb shit. All right. A lot of things to get to. Plus, who knows what you guys are going to have, what questions you're going to present, what your questions you're going to pose, comments. It could go anywhere. Jimmy from Philly, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much for that. He says, yo. Jimmy, are you in an altered state of mind right now? Me and Jimmy, we go way back. He says he usually watches me when he's doing acid or something. So are you? Or are you stone cold sober, man? Either way, Jimmy, good to have you here. Appreciate the time and the cash. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get in that ass like a bike with no seat. But first, this live stream is brought to you by Noble Gold. Now, Bank of America has just lowered its 2022 forecast for the S&P 500 by a whopping 900 points, down to 3,600. Saying we're heading for a recession this year, it said the new year-end target is the lowest on the street. This isn't good news for those of you stuck in equities or anything tied to the stock markets. I know thousands of people have put their trust in Noble Gold to prevent losing money in the financial storm that's brewing. You can join them by calling their expert team. Noble Gold was recently voted the #1 gold company in the country by Consumer Affairs. No call centers, no scripted response, no bull, just straight, honest run-through options so you can decide. And by the way, they're giving away a beautiful 1/10 of an ounce gold American Eagle proof coin with every qualified IRA or 401k rollover this month. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now, 877-646-5347, or find out more or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. JerichoGreen.net, mygreengear.com. New gear, new ones on the way. Check that shit out. Boy, oh boy. Now, today at 3 o'clock, right after here, I'm going to go from here to there. Shout out to Gabe El-Tayeb, Dave Williams. These guys did something brave. And I'm not talking brave like Bruce Jenner saying he wants to be a girl now. Ooh, you're so brave. You're a multimillionaire in America saying you're a Ku Klux Trans member. Ooh. I'm talking real bravery. These men took the leap of faith. They bet on themselves. Now, who are these men? I'll tell you. So you may or may not have heard about the Rippaverse that came out, was released a couple weeks ago. Last I heard, they were up at like $3 million. But basically, these guys are artists and colorists, not the kind of colorists they try to say, but like an actual colorist for comic books and stuff. And these dudes were artists for huge names. DC Comics, they did Superman, Batman, Arkham Asylum, all these different top-notch mainstream comic books. You've probably, if you're into comic books, you've probably seen comic book issues with their artwork in it, for sure. It's almost a guarantee. But as we know, that wokeness, the wokeism, the SJWism, the everybody needs to be taken care of unless you're white and fuck you, that whole mindset, that whole just the sick, sad, gross slop that we find ourselves knee deep in, this woke shit. Well, it gets everywhere, permeates everything. And one of the things that permeates the most is entertainment. So I've even done a couple videos about this back in the day. Not back in the day, not too far back, but I've also posted some shit on my IG page at JG Talk of how Superman's son is bisexual and everybody's a lesbian. Like, what? Hold up. Changing everything, taking a character that was originally white and making him black for some tokenism. Tokenism is not progress. Just because they, you got to get the eraser bits off your paper. Here, and color that. All right, cool. We've done something. Just because they changed the color of a fictional character does not equal progress. But this woke shit has gotten on to everything, and you just can't wash it off. So when they made Superman change his famous, when you think Superman, you think truth, justice, in the American way. That's his slogan. That's what he says. You think of no one else when you hear that. Well, Superman stopped saying that a long time ago. I remember, what was it? Superman Returns, the one with Brandon Roush, one of the worst ones. On his desk, he has the newspaper and it says, Truth, Justice, and something else. It doesn't say Truth, Justice, in the American Way. And that movie came out in like 2006. So they've been doing this shit for a while. But they finally, the straw that broke the camel's back was this woke bullshit we find ourselves in. So they decided we're going to do our own thing. We're going to leave the big name of DC Comics. We're going to get from under this umbrella of mainstream entertainment. And we are going to trust in ourselves, and we are going to continue truth, justice in the American way. And what they did was they came up with brand new characters, and that's what their comic book series is called, Truth, Justice in the American Way. sent me some artwork. That's what the pros call it, artwork. But there you go. You can see that there. And I'll put it on my page, on my YouTube page under community. But we're talking like real mainstream level shit. There is no, that's the team right there. And that's their names. Truth, Justice in the middle, the American Way on the end. And there's no drop off in talent. There's no drop off in quality. It's not like, oh, these guys went out on their own. It's not going to look as good. If they took all the words away, you would think that DC themselves or Marvel or whoever made those comics or did those drawings. These dudes are top fucking notch. And shout out to my man Dave Williams. He sent me some copies of comic books that haven't even come out yet. See, my brother is a comic book head. He loves comic books, Star Wars. He's in all that shit. So he sent me, Dave Williams sent me these. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, right? So he sent them to me. I laid them all out on the counter, and I sent my brother a picture. And I was like, oh, I just got some more shit from Dave Williams, the comics he was sending me got here. And my brother was like, oh, shit, do you know what you have? Those aren't even out yet. I was like, oh, whoa, because I'm not into comics like him. But apparently, it's some big time shit right here. So my brother's all happy. I'm going to send him some copies. Even though he was a dick to me growing up, I'm going to send him some of those copies. But at 3 o'clock, I will be on Gabe's YouTube page along with Dave Williams. And I'm going to get the links and everything to his page. And I'm going to put up this artwork that he sent me on my YouTube page under community. So if you want to know where to be and what you were going to be seeing and hearing when you get there, check that shit out right after. But not only that, not only do they take that leap of faith and bet on themselves, but Gabe, I don't know about Dave. I'll find out today when I talk to him, but Gabe is a family man. He has a wife, he has kids, so he's invested in the future of this country and he wants to see it going the right way. So we're going to talk about a lot of shit. We're going to talk about what happened with them, what I do, and what's going on. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. So 3 p.m. I will be on Gabe's channel. It's going to be fun. Ranson Shan, thank you very much. President Time Magazine Insky. I remember that shit, man. I remember I was a teenager when all that shit was happening. So I didn't like fully understand, but I knew, why is he doing that in the Oval Office? Now, I'm not against anybody getting their Twinkie stinky, but don't be doing that shit when you're on the clock. If I can't do that at work, you can't do that at work. Wild Angel, thank you for the Hamilton. Jericho, you and Salty are my favorite on political things that mainstream mediocres won't say. But I love you both because you make me laugh my ass off. That's not easy. I'm a 7-year-old grumpy old lady. Well, look here, 7-year-old grumpy old lady. You will crack a smile. Here, I'll see to it. Thank you very much, miss. I appreciate that. Wild Angel. I bet you are. You say you're a 17-year-old grumpy lady now, but I bet you were a firecracker, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Abby Matthews, thank you. Jay, did you hear the the trainee cheerleader choked out a female at camp? I did hear about that. We're going to talk about that shit today. That's the Klux Trans member that got a little violent. It's messed up. And like the family and the dad and the daughter and all that shit. Like I said, there's so many fucked up things about that. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to see more of it. DJ John T, thank you. Says, hi, Jericho. I watched Eddie Murphy's Delirious clip on @JG Talk on Instagram, and man, it was funny. And a big no-no today. That's right. I mentioned it yesterday. I'm doing hashtag not today on my Instagram page, and I'm putting up clips from old TV shows and old movies that you would not have today. They could, not only would they not show it on TV and shit, they wouldn't even film it. There would be so many woke bitches on the set that they wouldn't even film such things. And what I see is in the comments, people are like, oh man, I forgot about that. I haven't seen that in so long. And I think the reason that people forget about things like that and we don't hold on to things like that is because it was no big deal. It wasn't a blip on your radar because it was just another show talking about funny shit, making jokes. That's not going to stick in your mind years later because it wasn't a big deal. Now, check this out. The clip that I put up today is from a skit in Living Color, and it's Handyman. I've talked about him before. It's Handyman. He's a mentally, physically handicapped dude, and you don't even say handicap anymore. His name's Handyman. Never underestimate the power of the handicap. That's what that was his slogan. That was his truth, justice, and the American way. That's what Handyman said. And I put a clip on there of him with his adoptive family, just like Superman. He was adopted. He came down here from another planet and was adopted by an American family. But it's played by Damon Wayans, so he's black. It's fucking hilarious. He has this gift that his father told his earthly parents to give to him on his 8th birthday. And he opens it up. It's this blue glowing thing, and this little bubble comes out, and it's his dad. And it's his dad, was played by Damon Wayans in a blonde wig. And he said, "Happy birthday, son. It's your 8th birthday." He starts telling him the history, and he says, "You were born on the planet Palsy." He said, "You were born on the planet Palsy." Come on, that shit is hilarious. But today, hashtag not today, you couldn't do that shit because every group who could possibly be offended by that would be, and even some groups that aren't offended would be convinced that they should be offended. That shit would get taken down like that. Damon Wayans and the rest of the cast will be out there at the podium. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything. My best friend and my family, and I'm sorry," and all this dumb bullshit that we don't care about. But back then, it was all good. Everything. And the thing was, this is the reason why South Park is so successful and hasn't been canceled. It never will be, because nobody's safe. They don't pick on a particular group all the time. They give everybody the business. Religious groups, racial groups. They got a character on there, 2 characters named Timmy and Jimmy. Jimmy isn't he the one, he got the crutches. Like that. And Timmy just goes, "Timmy," all the time, but nobody's safe. Fat people, skinny people, black people, white people, women, men, kids, everybody. That's the only way for things to keep going, is if you give it to everybody. But when you start taking them, no, and putting them behind mommy, no, don't talk about them, and don't talk about them. And shh, quiet, slavery, shh. These are the Fabergé eggs of ethnicities. Turn the lights down, quiet. When you start separating little groups, it'll never work because you can't keep everybody happy. My dad told me, "Son, you can't please all the people all the time. But if you give it to everybody, then nobody has shit to say." It's funny. We all enjoy it. That's why South Park's been around since 1997. Shit's hilarious. Check it out on my Instagram page, @JG Talk, hashtag not today. You might see something on there you remember. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember those days. Oh, yeah, I remember when you could say whatever you wanted. Yeah, Timmy. Come on now. That's right, None the Miser. Jimmy and Timmy got in a fight, and they called it Cripple Fight. Dog. Why can't we do that? And what's the people who are laughing the hardest are the ones that they're making fun of. How are you going to tell this handicapped person over here laughing their ass off that they shouldn't be laughing at that? You should feel oppressed. Why are you laughing at that? Because it's funny. These people are probably looked at in a certain way all their life. And to see themselves made fun of like everybody else makes them feel just like they're everybody else. You're not this handicapped person that people stare at and point at and kids ask questions about all loud and shit because they don't know how to obey social cues yet. Treating them like everybody else is a good thing. To see everybody laughing at them, not treating them like they're different, like something's wrong with them. No. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and start making fun of handicapped people, but if it's in a comedy show or a TV show, fucking laugh at it. If they're laughing, you better laugh. Because if not, you're making it weird, not them. Not today. They wouldn't even film that shit. Them woke bitches like, I'm not doing it. I'm so offended. Dude in the wheelchair is like, why not? I think it's hilarious. No, it's not. You just don't know. You're supposed to be oppressed. I'll be offended for you. Weak ass bitches. Eileen J, thank you for the Hamilton miss. Even reruns of the Brady Bunch have a warning prior to the show. Why? Because the boys were playing cowboys and Indians. Get out of here. Yes, they played cowboys and Indians. You know why? Because that's who was fighting and shit. What's the cowboys and the Indians? Notice in that Brady Bunch episode, did they make the Indians look like a bunch of weak little colored bitches? Oh, I can't, a blanket. No, they were fighting because that's the truth. The Indians didn't lay down and take it. Why do you think we got a bunch of badass equipment in our military named after Indians? It wasn't because they were weak, because they were fighting too. They were scalping people too. But if they tell you the truth about your history, that you come from strong people who didn't take that shit, well, then that means they'll expect that of you today. And if you're in the victimhood, you can't rely on yourself. You got to rely on the government, on them. You got to put that veiny, engorged, stretched out federal teat in your mouth and suckle. That's how you got to be. Cradle to the grave, everything. They take care of you. Come here. Put it in. There you go. We got you. Now don't start talking that self-reliance, self-responsibility shit. We don't want to hear that. When you sucking on this federal teat, this state teat, I don't want to hear that kind of talk. Because you can't talk with a titty in your mouth, right? You can't say, I'm independent. No, you're not. Get that in there. Pop that titty in there. You can't talk with a titty in your mouth. That should be my next t-shirt. You can't talk with a federal titty in your mouth. Try it. You can't. You can't be independent and have that teat in your mouth. Brendan Gerzalak, thank you for the twomp. I'm diabetic and Family Guy made fun of diabetics. No one hears me complain. That's right. You probably laughed because you could relate to it or because it was funny. Surprised somebody didn't run in your living room and tell you, no. Stop laughing. You need to be offended. You need to be oppressed. Why does their version of the world just seem like it sucks? You can't laugh. You can't do shit. GS, thank you. JG, can you make fun of that nutty professor looking clown on MSNBC named Ellie Mistel? I don't even know who that is. Who's that fool? Ellie Mistel. That name already makes me upset. Let's see. Who is Ellie Mistel? Oh, that's who that is? Looks like Don King's bastard child. That right there. Looks like Don King fucked Nell Carter. Oh, he's the one who said he was talking about Herschel Walker and how that's how the Republicans want their Negroes to be. Really? Minxy Mink 68. I'll explain to you what pleb means. But yeah, this fool was the one talking about what's his name? Herschel Walker is unintelligent and he just regurgitates what the Republicans tell him. All right, I'll tell you one thing, Ellie Mistel, which is one of the stupidest names I ever heard. I want to see you get in the ring with Herschel Walker. Because Herschel Walker was fighting in MMA when he was 59. I bet he wouldn't say that shit to Herschel Walker's face. And you know he wanted to call Herschel Walker a nigger. You know he wanted to say that's how the Republicans like their niggers. He wanted to say that, but he called him a Negro, an unintelligent Negro. You're the one sitting on MSNBC, so who's the unintelligent Negro? You look like Nell Carter was your mama and Don King was your father. It looks like somebody did your hair with one of them Flobies They like suck your hair up and cut it. You look ridiculous, sir. Let's see. MSNBC silent over guest Ellie Misto's long history of racially charged rhetoric. Because if you're saying it from the right side to the right side, they won't say shit to you. As long as you're on the left saying it to the right, you can say the most despicable, untrue shit you want to. They won't say a damn thing. They'll have you on as a guest because they don't deal in truth. Yeah, Ellie Misto, you sorry bitch. You know, his handshakes are soft as shit. If he gave you a hand job, it would feel like he had marshmallows in his hand. That's how soft his handshake is. Minksy Mink 68. What the WTF is play? I'll tell you. It's a direct quote from our grandpa in chief, Mr. Hey, this isn't the mall. Wait a minute. 7-year-old 150 yards to the west. He, what was this? About a month ago? I mean, he says so much. He has so many verbal slip-ups. It's hard to keep track sometimes. But about a month ago or so, I don't remember who he was talking to, but I think he was talking to a auto union or something like that. And he was saying, I don't mean to be pleb. I think what he was trying to say was, I don't mean to be political. But he said, hey, it's not a joke. I'm not trying to be pleb. And then he moved on with his conversation. Like pleb is a word. I don't know all the words. I'll say I don't even know most of them. But I've been in an English-speaking country my whole life. Pleb has never come across my eardrums. But that's why we always fuck around and I say, hey, you guys are being very pleb here. Knock it off. But that's what pleb means. The president said, I'm not trying to be pleb. Didn't correct himself, just moved on with this conversation, which leads me to believe pleb is a word to him. But that's what it means. Minksy Mink 68. Yeah, he's a pledophile. Thank you, DMW 24/7 TV. Exactly, green light. End of quote. Repeat the line. All that shit. Just throw it on the pile of dumb shit that he says and misspeaks. Throw it on the pile of misspeaks. That pile's like a skyscraper right now. Anywho, let's get to this good gun, people. You got me all off track and shit. Let's see here. I had one. Had it. Damn it. It was in Philadelphia, man. And people were getting fucked up in Philadelphia. Let's see. I'll find it. I had it, and then I had to look up the Ellie Mitchell, whatever that stupid dumb Don King's love child. I had to look that up. Hold on. This shit is crazy. Damn it. It was a good one, too. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Philadelphia. Who the hell came up with the way to spell Philadelphia? I think this is it. Yeah. This is it. I found it. Don't be pled in Philly. That could get you hurt. All right? That could get you killed. Philadelphia. This one says, 2 suspects fatally shot during home invasion in South Philadelphia. Uh-oh. Philadelphia. An apparent home invasion turned deadly in South Philly. Police say 2 men were trying to break into a home and were shot and killed by 2 men inside the house. Officials were on the scene for hours as they worked to determine what exactly happened and why. A home invasion turned deadly Monday afternoon, turning this residential street into a crime scene. At first, I thought it was a woman and there were 2 intruders that were going to rob her. But now I have no idea what really happened, a neighbor said. As details emerge, police say it was 2 men who lived at the home who shot 2 others who tried to force their way in. The brazen break-in unfolded around 1:30 p.m. So you never know. You just got to be ready all the time. I'm thinking maybe it's time to move out. For something like this to happen in the middle of the afternoon, it's like, I heard it was a robbery. If that's a true story or not, I'm not sure, but it's tough to take. Mary Grace McHale said. She must be a neighbor. The two suspects died at Jefferson University Hospital. A 33-year-old, listen to this. The two suspects died at Jefferson University Hospital. A 33-year-old was shot 15 times, while the other man, between 25 and 30 years old, was shot 5 times. Officers found both men unresponsive inside the house. Damn. The 33-year-old was shot 15 times, while the other man was shot 5 times. So they just went ahead and riddled his ass. That's what you call riddling someone with bullets. Shocking. Like I was saying, you don't expect something like this in your neighborhood. You see it on the news all the time. Unfortunately, and this is really something out of the ordinary for this area, John Caruso said. Caruso joined others in South Philadelphia peering down the street in disbelief. He watched as investigators went in and out of the house, blocking both pedestrian and vehicle traffic. It makes you feel uneasy. Like you think that this can't happen until you walk outside and hear about it, and then you see up live in person and think, my God, it's a block from your house. How could this possibly happen? But it does. The alleged intrusion prompted some to think about protecting themselves. Maybe I should go buy a gun, McHale said. McHale, Mr. McHale, you live in South Philadelphia. You better have a gun. The shooters are cooperating with police. The names of the men who were killed have not been released. Mr. McHale, why are you living in Philadelphia without a gun, sir? That could have been your house that they picked. And in your case, you would have been dead, Mr. McHale, because you don't have a gun. And way to let all this Philadelphia know that you don't have a gun. Now, you better run down the street right now and get a gun, or they're coming after you next. That fool took 15 rounds. They must have came in there like, who in here is not fucking around? And those two dudes in the house said, we're not fucking around. Go ahead and break in here. Brian King B. Falcon, we missed you yesterday, man, but he's back. Calm down, comment section. He's back. 15 times. The other guy took 5. That's what you get. That ain't your house, so why are you in there without permission? You should automatically assume when you're standing there and you're wearing your mask, before you break into that house, just know that there's a possibility that you could die, and you should. Like I told you guys, when I did my front sight training on the last day, they had the house scenario where you got to go in and shoot the bad guy. And I shot the bad guy who was holding a cell phone. And the instructor said, why did you shoot him? He's only holding a cell phone. I said, because he's in my house. I don't care if you're holding a puppy in one arm and a dozen roses in the other. If I don't recognize you, I am going to shoot you. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. And that should be totally expected. That should be part of your life as a criminal. When did criminals become such bitches? When do they not want to go to jail or not get shot? That's part of your job. You're a criminal. My parents always told me that life only ends one of two ways, dead or in jail. I knew that. I knew that shit as a kid. Why don't you know that now? This is a life you chose. When those people build skyscrapers, they know in the back of their mind, I could fall from here. And they totally expect death on the other end. So why don't you? This is what you chose. This is what you want to be. This is how it goes. You guys picked the wrong damn house. And you got fucked all the way up. You guys split 20 rounds between you. When they say split a 20-piece, I thought they were talking about nuggets, not bullets. You guys split the wrong 20-piece. You stupid motherfuckers, you. Mr. McHale, get a gun, please. So you don't end up being a damn statistic. He said, I might want to get a gun. Yeah, Mr. McHale, go get it. And that, people, was good gun. I saw that shit. I was like, oh, 50. Damn. Oh, man. Demian Alcazar, thank you very much. Says, what up, Jericho? Rocking a JG hat all the time. Appreciate that. Preach. Damn, Mr. McHale. Hey, you guys, pray for Mr. McHale that he gets a gun. Damn it. Damn it. So I'm going to go get him. Yeah, Mr. McHale. Damn. Mr. McHale's tripping. Let's see, who was that in here? Brian? Oh, Mr. Matt, that's who it was. Yeah, I talked about that yesterday, the guy who got his arm shot off. Or didn't get shot off, but he thought it did. He shot my arm off! Why are you yelling like that? You didn't expect that man to have a gun? Again, this is a life you chose. Why are you all, he shot my arm off? What do you expect him to do? Why are you crying like a bitch like you're surprised? Come on, man. We need some tougher criminals around here. Is this the new millennial criminals who can't take the hardships of the career path that they've chosen? He shot my arm off. You know what? If I was that store owner, I would make that, you know, when you walk into a store, it goes boom, boom. No. Every time you walked in that store, it would be, he shot my arm off. That's what it would be every time. To remind you little sons of bitches of what happens when you roll up in here. Boom, boom. He shot my arm off. Fuck you, asshole. Oh, man. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with them? That's right, James Salter.
Ooh, it's a vibe. When you own a gun, you just, ooh, you feel it. It's all heavy with the rounds in there. It's a vibe. Ooh.
Yeah, 1101, AGAOJ. I've done a couple stories from Philly where people have defended themselves. It's gone up, what was it, 7? I think it's gone up from last year being 7 legally armed citizens, you know, with CCWs or whatever, defending themselves. It's gone up from 7 to 19 so far this year. So no, Philly's not playing. You guys might want to pick a new city to victimize, because Philly hasn't got the message that they're supposed to lay down and take this shit. Philly keeps shooting back. He shot my arm off. Yeah, that's what shotguns do. They shoot stuff off. You dummy. Why are you shocked? You're lucky you didn't use a 9mm. Your lung would have came out. Then you wouldn't have been able to yell shit, because you wouldn't have had a lung. It would have blew your lung out of your body. And if he shot you in the leg, it would have vaporized and turned to dust. Oh, who said that stupid shit? Who said that borderline retarded shit, Jericho? I'll tell you. Elected officials. I didn't make that up. I'm not dumb enough. Carolyn 714. OMG, he shot my arm off. Dorson just made me bust out laughing aloud at the gym. Wouldn't that be funny? It would be funny, and it would also serve as a reminder. No bullshit. You know, the word of that shit spread like wildfire around that town. Everybody knows about that. So every would-be robber and killer would come in there and hear, he shot my arm off. Be like, oh yeah, don't do that here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this ain't the place to fuck around. Oh yeah, this is where that dude got shot because he tried to rob this 80-year-old man. You prey on the elderly, you deserve to get your arm shot off. Man, you know his arm looked like hamburger. A shotgun, what was that, 15 feet maybe? So, you know, them buckshots were still in a tight little grip. They're probably like this. Your arm look all chewed up. Yes, IWD elected. That's that's definitely in air quotes. Empty suits. Is that better? They're definitely that. Brian Shoemaker, thank you again. JG, is Monica Lewinsky our Jen's Marilyn Monroe? Whew. Well, if the criteria is to bang politicians who are married, yes. But Marilyn Monroe, she was also an actress. She wasn't just, the ski-e, because Clinton was a ski-er. She was a ski-e. Marilyn Monroe did more than that. So I would say, I would hope not. Damn. But no, I would say no, because Marilyn Monroe, she was also an entertainer. She didn't just get nuts busted on her. But good thing Monica held on to the dress, right? I think it was Paula Jones who told her to keep the dress. Keep that girl. I got evidence all over it. And when I used to be on the radio, one of the things I would say was, it's going down like Lewinsky, right? Because she was famous for blowing the president. But my PD, my program director, was like, oh, no, I don't think you should say that because, maybe it's a younger audience. They may not get it. Blah, blah, blah. But I was thinking their moms do. All the people, they targeted people 18 to 34. So a lot of the I guess, when you cast your net wide like that, you're going to catch some fish you weren't exactly aiming for. So some of the people that were caught up in this net that we cast were high school girls. We were always going to high school events and dances and stuff like that, DJing and shit like that. So the high school girls who were being driven to school by their mom, they know who Monica Lewinsky is. Plenty of people know who that is. But he's like, oh, don't say that, but whatever. I'll say it here. It's going down like Lewinsky. IWD, thank you for the Hamilton. The country I immigrated from has nonsense abuse of self-defense laws. Since he used a shotty against an AR, he would be charged with a 10-year prison beat. Damn. Lefty DAs want to do that here in the U.S. Fuck, I hope not. What country do you come from, IWD? Glad you're in this one now. Yeah, man, that's fucked up. So what was that man supposed to do? Just sit there and take an AR to the face? Fuck that. Nah. That old man's still here. And he had a heart attack too after, but he's all right. He's all right. Because he has Nancy taking care of him. That's his wife's name. Nancy wasn't playing. Nancy get him a hot toddy and a little something else. He'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. And the question I had real quick, where is Joe? I know we're enjoying not hearing from him. All right? I know we're enjoying not hearing a damn word come out of his mouth. It's beautiful. I'm not complaining. I'm just asking, where is he? Because we haven't heard from him in a little bit. It's a couple of days ago where you heard that he tested again for the sweet and sour sniffles. But since then, we haven't heard anything from him. You think he's bedridden? Think he might be bedridden or something? Think he might be kicking his ass? Tammy, hey, yes, the basement, of course. But what's he doing in that basement? He's quiet. I enjoy it. Believe me. Stacy C, $8 billion to Ukraine today. I think it's more like $60 billion. Because we sent them $40 billion last time, then we had to borrow from China. Then it was like $5 billion here, $4 billion there, some shit like that. So I think it's up around 60, unless you're talking about something else. Tim Starr is probably grounded. Yeah, Jill sent him to his room. Hey, and don't slam my door either, or you ain't gonna get no fucking butterscotch pudding. Sorry how it was in her house. He probably acts like a petulant teenager at home. Jill be holding them snacks from him. Joseph, Joe, right? Joe. Come on, Joe, look at me. Look at me, Joe. Joe, look at me, Joe. Joe, look at me. Look at me. I'm not going to let you smell the 8-year-old hair. Uh-huh. Yeah, I thought I had your attention now. You get in there, clean your room, change your soiled underwear, and you have 5 minutes to sniff this lock of premium 8-year-old hair. Huh? So I thought, get up. You just got to know how to motivate them, guys. Brian King be fogging the robots. Maybe. They probably had to plug his ass into one of those damn Tesla charge stations. Fucking clowns. Fucking clowns. Oh. Oh, man. Like I said, guys, we are in trouble. Trouble. Because if he's down there, if he's locked up in the basement, then that means Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, is running about. And she is. She was doing a speech in front of somebody yesterday, and she's all, yeah, my husband. Why'd you say it like that, Kamala? Why'd you say my husband? Were you talking in front of some black people? You thought you needed to say that? Condoleezza Rice never said no shit like that. And she's a real black woman, Kamala. Ooh. IWD, thank you again. Argentina. The year I left, Antifa-like groups burned down 27 blocks of my hometown and raped 700 women, and a judge said they deserved it for being middle class. Their privilege upset the mob. Shit. People, we need to start looking at other countries that are a little further down this communism road than we are to see what happens. Because they don't tell you about this. All they talk about is, no, we're going to pay for this and for that and for equity and equality and progressivism and acceptance. It's about acceptance, guys. Diversity. Diversity is our strength. No, it's not. Diversity of thought is our strength, not diversity of appearance. Just because you got a bunch of people that look different, just because it looks like you got a United Nations class picture, does not mean anything. Antifa-like groups destroying and judges saying, hey, they deserved it. That does sound familiar. Their privilege upset the mob. When is somebody going to say, fuck the mob? Well, welcome. I saw this thing on the Travel Channel one time, because Argentina is big for beef. And it was some kind of festival. Forgive me for not remembering the name. But there was a festival where they had this huge circle. I mean, like hundreds of yards, big ass circle. And the circle is made of, people build these fires and they put these, it's almost, the grills almost look like an easel. Like they're big and they lean, and they open them up and they put all these different cuts of meat on these grills that look like easels. And they line the meat up, they close it to hold the meat in place, and they build fires under it. And these fires, you know, they cook the meat, and you walk around the outside of the circle, and I imagine you pay to get in or something like that. But you have a knife. Everybody has a knife on them. And you just walk around cutting pieces of meat and walking in a circle. That sounds great. You imagine a meat festival? You just walk around all day long trying different. You know, meat tastes better when you take it off the grill. I don't know why, but it does. That would be wonderful. But if they had that here in America, on the outside, you hear, don't eat animals. If it has a face, I don't eat it. Max Bang, thanks for the twat. I'm a mother of 2 special forces, U.S. Army and Navy, military. My sons made sure that my husband and I were both trained, licensed, and capable of defense. In New Jersey, an intruder has to have both feet in your dwelling. So if they come through your front door like this with a knife and they only got 1 foot over the threshold, you got to wait till he gets that 2nd foot and then you can let him have it. New Jersey sucks. And I hope that your 2 boys come back in one piece, mentally and physically, and thank them for their service. Thank them for going over to the scary places so this doesn't turn into a scary place. Thank them for killing the bad guys over there so they don't come kill us here. Because all this stupid shit that they espouse is because of people like that. Because they go and do the hard shit and the necessary work in the dark so we can live the life that we live. They're the ones that see everything in green so we can be over here chilling and tweeting stupid shit that's not true about this country. Thank you to them. America is racist and it sucks. Yeah? Go say that shit somewhere else. See what happens to you. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't be allowed to say that because you're a woman, right? Yeah, America's pretty good. Jackasses. Erica by Da Vinci. Thank you very much, miss, for the 50. Why do all the songs end like that? If you know, then you know. Tom Mellinger, sweet and sour sniffles. I'm dead. Don't die, Tom. Come back. We need you here. That's what I call it. It came from China, didn't it? Sweet and sour sniffles. Makes sense. See. IWD, thank you. Everything the left wants here, they beta test it in Latin America and Western Europe. I believe it. I believe it. If you want to see how it's going to turn out, look over there. Remember, they used to always tell us Venezuela, Venezuela. Remember Bernie Sanders on the campaign trail?
We need to be more like Venezuela.
Really? Venezuela's, their citizens were trying to eat the zoo animals. They were setting traps in the park to catch pigeons so they can get protein. Venezuela, though, right? Yeah. Brian Shoemaker, again, thank you. JG is Monica. Oh, I already did that one. What the hell? What's going on here? Is that a repeat? Did you send another one? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. Moving on. So, oh man. So, let's talk about that violent ass Ku Klux Trans member. So there's this college. What's it called? Where's that shit? And erase that shit. Cheerleader choked. There we go. All right. Cheerleader choked. Here we go. So let's see. Which one of these do we want? Which one? All right. So a transgender cheerleader kicked out of a Texas college for allegedly choking a teammate denies there was any physical altercation and intends to sue. Avery Chanel Medlock. Why do they always have some crazy ass name that no real woman would ever have? Avery Chanel Medlock, 25. This fool's 25. Remember that. Insisted her side of the story wasn't heard before she was slapped with a $500 criminal citation, kicked off of her cheer team for allegedly assaulting another cheerleader on July 21st at Ranger College. There was no physical contact at all, Medlock told the Post during a phone interview. I was just trying to talk it out as an adult. Medlock, whose legal name is Avery Chanel Satchel, claims her teammate, Carly Jones, got upset when she refused to buy her a vape. Oh, so she was shoulder tapping for some tobacco. Okay. Medlock later went to Carly's room to apologize, but an argument ensued rather than an assault as alleged, she recalled. And this is the person, the alleged attacker. Look at the build on that fool. And why does your body look black but your face looks white? Why do you have the makeup on your face to look like a white woman? Medlock's teammate then called her father, who called the police. The athlete says she was then escorted off the university grounds and booted from the Ranger College cheer team. She now plans to sue the school for discrimination. Uh-oh. There should have been a meeting with me, Medlock said, of being tossed after the allegation. There was no question asked. The coach didn't even get my side of the story. If I would have assaulted her, I would have been in jail. So there's camera footage out there that hasn't been released. And it says there definitely was an assault, and it could have ostensibly been charged as a Class A misdemeanor, but I think they appropriately charged it as a Class C misdemeanor, Stevenson told the Post. So he's the Eastland County District Attorney. That's who Brad Stevenson is. So there was an assault. And there's video out there, but it's been edited. And it basically shows the Ku Klux Trans member as like, I was just trying to talk, we were just being cool. But apparently there's a footage of the shit getting physical. She allegedly choked the girl she accused her of calling her homophobic names. Wow. Her father's going around saying that I choked her and made her pass out. Well, you're a dude. And here's the other part of the age. He's 25. The girl is 17. So he choked out a minor. Are you allowed to go around choking minors when you're an adult? I don't think so. But this Ku Klux Trans member got all violent, allegedly because they were called some homophobic names. Okay, let's say you were. Let's say they called you all kinds of names. You this, you that, you tranny, you all this stuff. They called you all those horrible names. That does not mean, or she, it wasn't like a group of them, it was one girl. That does not mean you get to put your hands on, especially when you're a man. This is a falsehood that they keep pushing. This makes these people think, I really am a girl. So I really can respond this way and not get in trouble. No, you're a man. You should see the body on this fool. Big ass chest, tattoos everywhere. No, you can't get physical. You, sir, are not a woman. I know they keep telling you are, and they keep calling you her and she, and they keep giving you makeup tips and shit, and you keep putting your hair up. You are not a woman. You have a dick. You're a dude. He looks cartoonish. No woman fixes their face like that on a regular day. Look at that shit. He don't even look real. What woman looks like? He don't even look like a black woman. You look like Jennifer Lopez or some shit. You look like a Puerto Rican woman. Why would you let that fool on the cheer team as a woman? Now, if you want to be tossing them up in the air, wearing pants, that's one thing. But I feel sorry for whoever tosses you up in the air and has to look up that skirt. There ain't enough tucking in the world is going to get rid of that. This is what happens when you do that shit. You're going to see more of this. You're going to see more of these violent ass Ku Klux Trans members hurting women because they think they're women. You keep telling them they are. And when you have a mental instability like that, you're going to start believing that shit. I am a woman, so I can react like this. I can fight her. Girls with girls, boys with boys. All the boys who want to be female cheerleaders, come on close, not too close. You can't. I'm sorry, you cannot do that. I'm sorry your parents never told you this 2-letter word. No. But no, you can't be a cheerleader. You can be a dude cheerleader and be the base. You can toss them up in the air. You can, put both hands on your knees and make a nice strong structure for them to stand on. But you can't be a female cheerleader. Sorry. Life goes on. They'll get over it. Why can't we tell people no anymore? I don't care what you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel. It's what you are, and you are a man, so you can't be a cheerleader. And then the girl, the 17-year-old girl, she went into a room and had to lock herself in the room. Her dad could hear the fool banging on the door and shit in the phone call. So what if she had nowhere to run? What if there was no room for her to lock herself in? What would you have done to her, Sir Chanel? What happened if you beat that girl's ass? They're going to put you in, they can treat you like a lady and put you in a woman's prison? What the fuck? What do you think is going to happen when you put a bunch of mentally ill people with regular people? And you've been telling us all the time, yeah, you're a girl. They all the way from the top. Politicians, everybody telling them, if you feel it, you are. Oh, okay, I guess I am. That shit is disgusting. If I was her dad, I'd be mad as shit. And he allegedly told her, what did he say? Well, man up and meet me outside. I bet he lost his girl voice in. Hey, meet me outside. I'm going to kick your ass. I'd be like, I'll meet you outside, you 25-year-old fucking dude, fucking man. I'll meet you out there. You choke my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, I'll meet you outside, player. I'll beat your crazy ass. There'll be wigs and eyelashes everywhere. It'll look like a bomb went off out here. Your high heels and shit will be all over the parking lot. I'm going to show you what's up. I'm going to remind you what it's like to be a man. You big ass, crazy Vera DeMilo looking motherfucker. You choke my 17-year-old daughter and you're a 25-year-old man? You old enough to buy liquor? Bro, I'm fucking you up. Period. Fucking ridiculous. Well-regulated militia of one still under oath. Thank you, sir, for the Hamilton. Be advised, a Molotov cocktail is a weapon of mass destruction. Lethal force is required whether authorized or not. If you see somebody with one in your neighborhood, war is on your doorstep. That's right. See, they like to conveniently forget the last, 5,000 years where we were killing each other just fine without guns. Guns is not the end-all, be-all of killing somebody. It's not the alpha and the omega of death. They were killing people with rocks and sticks and slings and swords and spears for thousands of years. Dead is dead. Whether you have a spear through your torso or a bullet, you're dead. They push that shit with, he was unarmed. What, so he didn't have a gun? He's unarmed? How stupid are you? That shit is terrible. Yeah, Lactanin, they used to use stones, a rock. If somebody throws a rock at you, that's assault with a deadly weapon. If they throw it at your head, that should be attempted murder because you can kill somebody with a fucking rock. I remember watching this show. What was it? I Survived. And it was an episode where this girl was walking with her boyfriend. They're walking along these train tracks. And there happened to be a serial killer who was loose in the area. And he attacked them, and the first thing he did was kill the boyfriend. And this was in 2000 something. And what he did was he took a rock, he tackled the guy to the ground, took a rock, and smashed his head in and killed him in the 2000s. So I don't want to hear that no gun, you're unarmed bullshit. No, you're not. You're tripping. They use all kinds of shit. Man, that was my 17-year-old daughter. Somebody with her last name will be meeting you outside. Might not be her, but somebody in her family will be meeting you outside. That's me. Brian B. Falcon, I've been hit in the head with a rock by my cousin. Blood was everywhere. Yeah. Because rocks are hard and your skull is not. Fucking dangerous. A gun ain't your only worry. Look over it in the UK. Look at their stabbing numbers. To the fucking roof. IWD, thank you again. People need to start charging these activists, DAs, and leftist judges as accessories to the crimes they enable, for sure. And especially when they let somebody out and they reoffend. No, you get in there with them. You're going to be their cellmate. JJ Finnegan, John Wick killed a guy with a fucking pencil. A pencil! That's right. I heard a prison story. This guy was being picked on, being fucked with. And so the guy who was fucking with him went to sleep. He grabbed a pencil, went over to the guy's bed. The guy was laying like this on his pillow. He took that pencil and shoved it inside of his head and killed him. That wasn't a gun. But the guy's just as dead. He's just as cold. He has a toe tag. Crazy bastards. MyGreenGear.com, people. Sure would appreciate it. JerichoGreen.net. .net. Now, how about this? Noble Gold, one of the sponsors of our show, has just been picked by Consumer Affairs, the rating agency, as the overall #1 IRA gold company in the U.S. Talk to the team today if you're thinking of precious metals. And if you're quick, they're giving away an incredible 1/10 of an ounce American Eagle gold-proof coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now, 877-646, to find out more info or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Damn it, that's noblegoldinvestments.com. Thank you. Real quick, once again, where's Joe? Just checking in. Where's he at? So, Monica Lewinsky, girl, where you been? What you been doing? That's one of the people who, no matter where you go, I mean, can Monica Lewinsky walk down the street, and not be bothered? Aren't you? You look familiar. She's one of those people that is just so famous, and her face was just plastered everywhere, that if you were around in that time, you know who that is. She's probably so famous or infamous, however you see it, that you could probably see a silhouette of Monica Lewinsky and know who that is. Like, it could be just a drawing with her hair, her face, and just a smile. No eyes, no nothing. And you would know exactly who that is. That's how famous or infamous that woman is, against her will, unfortunately. She didn't want to be that famous. But for those of you who are too young to remember, maybe you missed it completely. I remember my mom and dad talking about that. You don't know who Monica Lewinsky was? I'll tell you. I'll give you a quick synopsis. So Monica Lewinsky was an intern in the White House during the Bill Clinton presidency. Bill Clinton had a thing for women not named Hillary. Can you blame him? If you look at a picture of Hillary Clinton, you will vomit. Your stomach will contract. So imagine what she looked like naked. Poor Bill. So he was banging all these chicks, Paula Jones, and all these women were coming out. He did this to me. He nutted on my dress. He put a cigar in my clam. Hey, Bill, I got somewhere you can put that cigar right here. So Monica was his intern, and he ended up banging her. She blew him. She gave him a BJ, a blowjob, a fellatio. She put his wiener in her mouth to completion. And during this, he got some on her dress. I guess he didn't get it all in her mouth. Sorry to be crude, but this is what happened. And some of it spilled on her dress, and her homegirl Paula Jones was like, "Hey, don't get rid of it. Hey, hold on to that dress, okay? Hold on to that. Put that in storage." So the infamous dress, like, there was a dress that they brought out, and they had, like, where the cum stain was, they had it circled, like, here's where the jizz is. Oh, God. And so that's what got him impeached. And it was, he has some famous sayings from when he was under oath and testifying. And they asked him, like, what is sumsit? And he goes, well, that depends on what your definition of is. And I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That's what really got him in trouble, because he was under oath and he lied. He said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. But we found your DNA on her dress, and we found her DNA on your cigar. So if that's not sexual relations, I don't know what is. But that's how Monica Lewinsky sunk to fame. She didn't rise to fame, she sunk to fame. And so yesterday, this is how we're going to bring it all around. This is how we're going to connect it all. So yesterday I was talking about how lovely it is that the bloated woke mob had consumed two of its own. So Beyonce and Lizzo had the word spaz in some of their songs on their new albums. So anti-some bullshit. It was ableist language. Anyway, somebody in the UK got their knickers in a knot. They were being a real wanker. They got mad and said, that's offensive. You need to take the word spaz out of there because it's offensive to people with cerebral palsy. That's why. But the day and age that we live in, you can't say spaz, but you can say nigger. Which is worse? Anybody in here ever been called a spaz? Ladies, your man ever told you, why are you being such a spaz? You ever told you that? We've all been called a spaz or something like it. No big deal. I think that's very play, by the way. But you can't say spaz, like I'm going to spaz out or you're a spaz, but you can say nigger. Does that make sense? No. So how seriously should we take these people? Oh my gosh, no, I said spaz. Oh my God, retract all my albums and take that word out, sister. I'm so sorry. Beyonce, can you take the word nigger out of there? Oh no, that word's fine. That word's fine. That makes no sense. Which word is worse? Apparently spaz is. So Monica, she sent out a tweet saying, oh, hold on, let me pull that shit up. My boy sent the tweet to me. Good shit. Here we go. So Monica Lewinsky sends a tweet to Beyonce. It says, while we're at it, hashtag partition. Because in Beyonce's 2013 song called Partition, it's a song about telling the limo driver to put up the partition so he can't see her getting banged in the back seat. And in that song, she says, he Lewinsky'd all over my dress. Sorry, Beyonce, you want to take part in this shit. You want to bow at the altar of wokeism. So since you're taking lyrics out of your songs, why don't you take that one out? We can put a face to that phrase. This poor woman, Monica Lewinsky, is offended that you put something about her, you use her last name in your song. So since you're removing shit, why don't you take that line out of your 2013 song, Partition? You think she's going to do it? But that's how stupid this shit is. It can never be satisfied. It can never be satiated. You can never apologize enough. You can never remove enough old lyrics or new lyrics. It's never enough. Once you've been to them, that's it. How does the saying go? Give them an inch, they'll take your career. So in the interest of fairness, Beyonce, why don't you do that? You use her last name. You know you're talking about her. That's how stupid this shit is. She's one of these woke SJW morons, and she's not even up to date on what words they can and can't use. That's how dumb this shit is. But Beyonce, you're still around? Aren't you a fucking 40-year-old mother? Why are you walking around half naked? Why can I go on the internet right now and see a new picture of 75% of your tits? You're a 40-year-old mother of three. Act like it. That shit is disgusting. All you retarded bees out here with kids dressing like whores, you make whores blush. There's some whore right now rushing to the bathroom before it leaks out all over the floor, and you're making her blush. That is absolutely disgusting. But what you going to do, Beyonce? You're going to go all the way back to 1998 and comb through all the lyrics of all your songs and all your albums to make sure no one's offended? It'll never happen. You can never please everybody. You know why? Because even if you go through all of your songs and take out all the offensive phrases and words and shit like that, I would be offended that you would even do that. Why would you do that? You should have been like, hey, I'm sorry. that you might not like the word spaz or whatever, but it's my art. It's what I said. Sorry you feel that way, but I'm not going to do it. Nope. What'd you do? Oh, I'm so sorry. And I don't mean to be a dick, but let's be honest. This is a safe space, right? How many people with cerebral palsy are buying your albums to even hear it? Is there some room full of people with palsy who are just perusing Beyonce and Lizzo's albums to make sure the lyrics are right? Fuck out of here. But I'm on Team Lewinsky on this one. Beyonce, would you like to remove my name from your song? But one thing I never liked about Lewinsky, and what I didn't like about this part of what happened with her, I don't like the fact that they framed her as this innocent little, I'm just 22-year-old and he's this big, powerful guy. I had to put his dick in my mouth. I had to let him put his cigar in my vagina. I had to let him skeet on my dress. Bullshit. All right? You're a 22-year-old woman. You knew what you were doing. If you didn't want him to do that, sorry, Mr. President, I'm out of here. I'm not letting you touch me with that dick because it's Ben and Hillary at some point. That's what you should have done. But that whole bullshit, oh, he's a position of power. No, that has nothing to do with it. You're an adult. You consented to it. Move on. You knew what the fuck you were doing. If he raped you, that's something different. That's totally different. That's against your will. But it doesn't sound like any of this was against your will. It just sounds like, oh, he's a big, powerful man. What was you going to do? Do what you did. I don't feel sorry for you for that. You're a full-grown adult. You knew what you were doing. Now, should he have lied about it? Nope. Should he have done it on the clock? Nope. But to think that you were somehow this innocent widow wham and you didn't know what you were doing to big bad Mr. Quentin, no, that's bullshit, Monica. But as far as Beyonce, hey, do it. But just remember, guys, remember, you can't say spaz in your song, but you can say nigger. Just want to leave that out there, okay? And checking in one more time. I know it's been over an hour. Just want to know, where's Joe? Where's he at? Nobody? Okay. Where that man is. Wow. How about this? Noble Gold, one of the sponsors of our show, has just been picked by Consumer Affairs, the rating agency, as the overall #1 gold IRA company in the U.S. Talk to them today if you're thinking of precious metals. And if you're quick, they're giving away an incredible 1/10 of an ounce American Eagle gold proof coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now, 877-646-5347 for more info, or log on to noblegoldinvestments.com. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. Alien testosterone. Thank you. Invest in gold. I'll invest in JG. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I don't know if I'm as valuable as gold. Am I? Do you guys like me? Hold on. I saw another one up in here. Was that you? Was that you? Tammy Booth? Heidi Booth. What the hell am I saying? Got Tammy A and Heidi mixed up. Here we go. Heidi Booth. Thank you. What up, JG? What up, Heidi? Missed the first hour, so catching up. How dare you? Don't you mean Monica Lewinsky? She is as famous as Lorena Bobbitt. Having a drink. Cheers. Lorena Bobbitt. Let's talk about her. Shall we, kids? Now, before Monica Lewinsky, I think this is back in like 93, something like that. Man, there were songs. There were songs and jokes. Here's something I've always wondered. How do jokes get around? How? How do a black guy, a white guy, and a Mexican guy, how do any jokes make it? How do we get these jokes that we all know? How the hell does shit get around like that? I've always wondered. But there were songs about this. There were jokes. I'm trying to remember one of Lorena Bobbitt jokes because we were telling to each other all the time. Damn it. I can't remember. I could look it up, but I don't want to. I'm trying to remember. But we would tell these jokes all the time. And you know that song, In the Jungle, the Mighty Jungle? It was in the bedroom, the mighty bedroom. John Bobbitt sleeps tonight. In the kitchen, the mighty kitchen, Lorena grabs a knife. A wiener whack, a wiener whack. That's how the song went. How did they make that song so quick and get it out to where kids on the playground knew that shit? But Lorena Bobbitt, who is she? She was a woman who claims that her husband raped her. So while he raped her on a regular basis. So while he was asleep one night, she got a knife and cut his dick off. Then she grabs the dick, hops in the car, goes for a drive, and throws the dick out the window. Yes. And there was a joke of, who are the first cops to show up on the scene? You pick it up. I'm not picking it up. You pick it up. This dude's disembodied dick laying on the side of the road, probably got asphalt and shit in it, dirt. Some animals trying to drag it away. But check this shit out. Did she get convicted? Damn it, I can't remember. I know I could look this shit up, but I don't want to. I'd rather remember it with you guys. But I can't remember whether or not she got away with it. But there was this whole, all these talk shows and shit, and all these women were like, oh, yeah, that's right, girl. They would make fun of him and laugh. Yeah, you got your dick chopped off and shit. They thought it was funny. But had that happened to a woman, had some woman raped her husband, what if she drugged him and raped him? So she's sleeping in bed one night, and he walks in the room and cuts her titties off. How funny would that be? Would there be any men out there like, hell yeah, girl, or hell yeah, fool, that's right. You cut her titties off and threw them out the window. But there's our double standard. So you can't tell me that women can do what men can do and they're just as strong when you think it's funny a man got his dick cut off, but if a man did that to a woman, that wouldn't be funny. And then here's the funniest part of the whole damn thing. John Bobbitt, that was the husband's name, John Bobbitt, they reattached his dick and he made porno movies. Hey, shout out to the team of doctors who reattached this man's dick and it worked. Not only did it work so well, he got into porno. And that's the story of Lorena Bobbitt. Man, I haven't thought about that in a while. Dave Sosby, Lewinsky was raped. Was she? I don't remember hearing about her being raped. Maybe I needed to brush up on my Lewinsky history. But if she was, then yeah, that's totally fucking horrible. And Bill Clinton should be. I know he was accused of raping a bunch of women. But who is it? Larry Elder, I heard him talking about this. When that happened, when those women were accusing Bill Clinton of raping them, she did what's called nuts or sluts. When there's an accusation like that, you either make the accuser out to be nuts or you make her out to be a slut. You bring up her sexual past. Was she promiscuous? Was she fucking a bunch of dudes? Well, then how could this have happened? Or she's nuts. She's making it up. That didn't happen. There were other times she claimed this. That she's lying. But then, fast forward 25, 30 years, then you want to say believe all women. Believe all of them. Well, what about them women who are accusing your husband of rape? You didn't say that back then. You didn't say believe all women when they were accusing your sick-ass, slimy-ass husband. So do I believe that Bill Clinton has raped women? Of course I do. I also believe the sun is hot and water's wet. Bill Clinton's a rapist. If you wanted some updated information on that, and why does Bill Clinton look like he's 175? Bill Clinton looks old and sickly as fuck. If you look closely, you can see the Grim Reaper standing behind him with his hand on his shoulder. Bill Clinton looks horrible. But you want an updated version? Huh? Okay. Type in Bill Clinton, Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande was speaking and singing at Aretha Franklin's funeral. How Bill Clinton got an invite, I don't know. But when she's up there on stage, you can see it. You can almost hear Bill Clinton going, hear Bill Clinton going. He's like staring at her like he's a lion and she's an unaware gazelle. You can see the saliva dripping from his sharp teeth. He's a pervert by nature. But she didn't say that when they were accusing him. But now it's believe all of it. When they're accusing your husband, okay, I get it. Thanks, Hillary. Guy, buddy, friend. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy, friend. I'm not your friend, pal. Funny. Guy, buddy, friend. Thank you for the Hamilton. Had Lewinsky stuck with politics, she would have been VP like Kamala. That's right. She was ahead of her time. She was ahead of her time. No pun intended. Monica Lewinsky head. Yeah. Should have played it like old Kamala. Stick around. Stick with it. Consistency. Persistence pays. Could have been Senator Lewinsky. Could have been VP Lewinsky. I mean, see her and Hillary at some event and they face off. Awkward. Monica Lewinsky, Lorena Bobbitt, 90s. Come back. I miss you. I miss you, 90s. There's some crazy shit. She cut his dick off, put it in the car, and threw it out the window. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be. But someone said here, was it Heidi, said that she did get convicted. She did? I think so. I don't even remember. Like I said, I was like 13 when it happened. But I certainly remember the incident. AD, thank you. Advice on how to make my flintlock tactical. Oh, shit, I don't know. That would you put like a railing system on that thing? I don't think you should, man. Leave that how it is. Don't mess with that. I mean, that would be some crazy looking shit. Oh, she got off. Here, let's check that out. Let's see. Lorena Bobbitt. Damn, Lorena Bobbitt. That was like John Wayne Bobbitt. That was his name. Yeah. Look at the happy couple. Huh? That was pre-dick chop off. Don't they look happy? Aw, qué pena. Okay. So let's see. Did she get convicted? Blah, 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 blah. Aftermath, arrest and trial. When Lorena Bobbitt was arrested the night of June 23rd, she told the police, he always have orgasm and he doesn't wait for me ever to have orgasm. He's selfish. Actually, let me be as offensive as I can to Miss Bobbitt. When Lorena Bobbitt was arrested the night of June 23rd, she told police, he always have orgasm and he don't wait for me to have orgasm. He's selfish. Was that better? This conversation with Detective Peter Weintz was tape recorded, and the transcript was read later in the trial by Mary Grace O'Brien, the district attorney. During the trial, she revealed details of her volatile relationship. John was later acquitted of martial sexual assault by a jury of 9 women and 3 men. So even the ladies didn't believe he did that shit. They had not had sex, that Lorena had tried to initiate sex, but he had been too tired. That they had sex, but he had slept through it, and the sex was consensual. Well, if he was asleep and you got on top of him, there's an R word for that. I can't remember. After 7 hours of deliberation, the jury found Lorena not guilty due to insanity, causing an irresistible impulse to sexually wound John. As a result, she could not be held liable for her action. Under state law, the judge ordered Lorena to undergo a 45-day evaluation period at a Central State Hospital in Petersburg. after which she would be released. In 1995, after 6 years of marriage, John and Lorena finalized their divorce. So hold up. She chopped her husband's dick off and she got off due to insanity? Man, fuck that. That's bullshit. If you chopped your man's dick off for no reason, you got to go to jail. Or why isn't she locked up in some mental hospital? Oh, she suffered from PTSD due to the abuse. Then why didn't you get the fuck out of the relationship instead of cutting his dick off while he slept after you raped him? Man. Yeah, in 1994, he appeared in the adult film John Wayne Bobbitt, Uncut. Oh, man. You can't make the fucking 90s up. That shit really happened. Oh, man, that is so fucking funny. Thank you for that one. Anyway, yeah, guys. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be over there on Gabe Eltayeb's channel with Dave Williams. I'm going to get all the info, the link and shit from him. I will put it on my Instagram page and on my YouTube page under community. Mr. Matt, why didn't he bleed out? I don't know. Maybe the cops got there in time. Maybe he put some pressure on it. Maybe he grabbed that stump and squeezed and put a tourniquet on that bitch. I don't know. Yeah, buddy, Pud Fatty says, saving Ryan's privates. Man, this just, that's so funny. But that's fucked up. I didn't realize she got off for insanity. What the fuck is that? Anyway, I'll be over on Gabe Eltayeb's channel talking about him and Dave's exodus from DC Comics and the new comic book series that they have now called Truth, Justice in the American Way. You remember those old-timey things we used to believe? Those old things we used to live by? They're bringing that shit back. So come check us out over there. MyGreenGear.com, JerichoGreen.net. But before we go, people, wow, how about this? Noble Gold, one of the sponsors of our show, has just been picked by Consumer Affairs, the rating agency, as the overall #1 gold IRA company in the U.S. Talk to the team today if you're thinking of precious metals. And if you're quick, they're giving away an incredible 1/10 of an ounce American Eagle gold proof coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. You cannot go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team right now, 877-646-5347 for more info, or go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. I'm headed over there to talk to Gabe and Dave. Meet me on over there. I'll give you the link. It was wonderful. Another live stream in the books, people. Over 700 people on a Wednesday. Damn it, that's good. Happy hump day. I hope the rest of your week is quick and painless. Say it with me, guys. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net and MyGreenGear.com. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.